come on call today, and we've got special requests to record this session. So we will be doing that as well. And
we also have a chat box on the side, which I believe most of you know by now. So if there are any questions, thoughts, comments, please feel free to write that down. Just to let you know, she is Sneha and I am Shashank.
For the ones who are seeing us for the first time. So along with Sampurna, we are the teachers for India. And we hope that we are going to see you in person as well very, very soon. Before we get started, again, I'm loving this. Happy Doctors Day. To all the doctors here, Deval and Dashna, we already know you are doctors, and if there is anybody else, very, very happy Doctors Day. What would we do without you? So thank you for being who you are, and all the service and all the contribution that your entire community is making. And we are deeply, deeply grateful to all of you. So thank you so much for being who you are. And just once again, before we get started, I want to, Shashank and I both want to say a thank you to Babu and Deval for holding the sessions, which are the manual reading sessions. And I have heard from enough people to know that it's going extremely well. And trust me, it has come just at the right time. So it's come at the right time, come as a divine intervention for a lot of people. So thank you so much for holding that space as well, to both of you. Yeah, so deeply, deeply grateful for it. And so are Rick and Patricia, because we have been interacting with them and they have told us that as well. And I think you have been one of the most active. Everybody needs to know that they have been one of the most active teacher mentors in the entire world. So that deserves an absolute round of applause, because the kind of contribution that they are making, it's not happening anywhere in the world. Yeah, so that's a big, big one for us. Actually, a lot of things happening in our country is not happening anywhere else in the world. All good things. So we are going to come to that as well very soon. Right now, I would also recommend each one of you to take a journal and a pen as you sit down, because there are some reflections that we are going to ask you to do. So it's a good time, if you don't have something accessible close by, to just get up and quickly grab something that you could write on. Yeah. And while we get ready, we want, as usual, to start with a bit of centering. And this is such an important exercise, because it's actually creating a sense of preparedness to get into this call, a connection with ourselves, and most importantly, a connection with each other as a community. Even as you sit there and look at your screen, take a moment to feel this immense amount of gratitude, the kind of love that exists on this screen right now, the kind of passion, the kind of commitment to bring in love, to bring in change, to bring in transformation that exists on the screen right now. And it's a huge blessing to be a part of this community. So as you're seated there, rest your back, wherever it is. If you're on the chair, you're on the bed, just rest yourself. If you are lying down, you could also do that. And whenever you're ready, just gently close your eyes. Taking in a few deep breaths as you allow your body to relax. Allow your mind to quieten down. If there are thoughts running in your head, just allow them to come and pass. Bringing in your focus to your breath as you breathe in and you breathe out. With every breath, feel yourself deeply connecting with your inner being, unwinding, relaxing. Easing out all tension, all pressure. Continuing to breathe deeply. Become aware of your body. With every breath, a deep awareness of your body. And as you're sitting down or you're lying down, bring your attention to the surface beneath you and the support that it provides you. Feel your body connected with the surface, stable and grounded. As you sit there, visualize a tall mountain, a mountain whose peaks pierce into the sky. The view is endless. The sky is clear. A beautiful, tall, majestic mountain. See the mountain, feel the mountain. Feel its strength and its stability, its stillness. Now bring your attention once again to your feet, to your legs, to your hips, which are resting on the base, solid and rooted beneath you. And imagine yourself to be the mountain, alive and aware, deeply rooted, deeply grounded, soaring up in the sky. Feel the strength in your spine, your base firmly rooted to the ground. A mountain that is aware of changes that are happening around it, and yet it remains so still and so solid. As the seasons change and the air moves from hot to cold, at times windy, at times wet, and yet none of this disturbs the mountain. As it moves through all the changes with so much of stability, rooted and grounded. Be the mountain, feeling the stability. You are the mountain in the face of all the changes. Majestic and magnificent. Just focus on your breath as you breathe in and you breathe out. Breathe in courage. Breathe in stillness. Breathe in discipline. Breathe in trust. And most importantly, breathe in stillness, surrender. See yourself strong. See yourself radiating positive energy. Soak in this feeling completely. You as the mountain, radiating it all around you, still and strong. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. If you can, open up your arms and say this affirmation in your mind or out aloud. I trust the process of life. I release all fears, doubts, and insecurities. I I release it. I surrender. All my experiences are wonderful learning opportunities. I flow with change. I release all resistance. All my changes are positive. Change helps me grow. I am supported. I am safe. Everything is unfolding for my highest good. I trust. I trust. I trust. All is well in my world. And so it is. Gently bringing your attention back, giving yourself a wonderful hug, knowing that you're held in a lot of love, in a lot of safety, in a lot of togetherness. What I give out comes back to me. When I give out love, I give out trust. Slowly stretching in your body. And gently opening your eyes. I am the mountain. Thank you. You know, while you have been doing it, I've been watching you and I have goosebumps. So it's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm going to record this tonight and I'm going to send it out to each one of you so that you have access to it anytime that you need it. And every time you hear it, you come back to this space, knowing that you belong to a community, you belong to a lot of love, and you belong to a higher purpose. So that's what we need to remind ourselves of.
We are also going to take a moment and send our love and gratitude to all the people who are working out there as we are sitting in our homes safe, to all the people who belong to the special services, to all the people who are protecting us in the form of police, in the form of health workers, in the form of doctors, in the form of people who get grocery to our doorstep, who get the milk to our doorstep. All the people who are out there taking care of our every smallest need as we all sit in our houses in the comfort of our rooms. So just sending out a lot of love, a lot of gratitude to them for everything that they are doing so that we are happy.
And right now, also gratitude to those people who are taking care of probably your children, your dog, your anything else outside while you get time to sit here and do a reconnection with yourself. So huge amount of gratitude to them as well, right? Today, we are going to spend some time on reflection. We are going to spend some time on really, really seeing how this whole experience, what is it that we can get out of it? What is it meant to tell us? Today, we are also going to do some work which is around emotions. We have a Heal Your Life group of participants and, who've attended the workshop with us. And there was a beautiful question that one of the participants asked, and they said, what do you think Louise might say, to this kind of a situation that we are in? And what do you think it's happening for? And we didn't answer. And another participant sent such a beautiful answer because she said that, what Louise would say, that Louise would say that this is a reset button for all of us. This is about clearing out all that is unnecessary. It's about resetting our priorities. It's about cleansing. And it's really about recreating something totally new. So she said that it's nothing but a stop, but a pause that everybody needs to have. And what I loved is that why is it connected to the respiratory system? And I had such a proud moment when I read that, because she said, why do you think it's connected to the respiratory system? Because we were breathing in, we almost stopped breathing because there was so much of competition and there was so much of pollution and there was so much of running and there was so much of a race that we were a part of, that we had stopped breathing in fully. And this is truly about a reset button for us to know, really to open ourselves up to fully taking in life and what it means. And I thought it was a beautiful understanding of what this might be all about. So it is a reset button for us as well. And not only the people whom we are working with, but even for ourselves as teachers. What is this whole experience teaching us? So Shashank and I are going to take you through a small little exercise. And the idea is to go a little bit deeper into what's happening for each one of us. Yeah. So what we will do is we need you to now keep your writing pad and pen somewhere close by. You could also do this exercise with anybody. You could be your participants on a call. It could be your family members. You could do it with anyone that you like. So you can also write down the process at this moment. It's going to be recorded, so they would have it. Shashank will also put a PowerPoint up now so that you are able to get a visual of what we are talking about. It helps you keep a little bit of perspective. So we're going to share it now, and I can see you. Who is here? Yeah.
Hang on. Sorry.
No problem.
Okay. So there you go. You can see
Deval. So Deval, if you can see the slide, I just need you to put your hand up. Wonderful. So we know that we are here. We can also see the chat box. So at any point in time, you can also write any questions down. The whole work that we are going to be doing today, the beginning point of it is around emotions. And that's a very, very important part. So each one of us is experiencing diverse emotions in the last couple of weeks, and especially in the last couple of days. Emotions are nothing but energy in motion. It is something that we feel in the body. So these emotions have been positive, and also there have been some emotions which have been disabling. So it's a combination of a lot of things that we are feeling on day-to-day basis. And it's not just what we're feeling, but also people around us, the community around us is feeling at any point in time. So it's a moment where we take stock, or we identify what are the emotions that we are experiencing at any given point in time. Why does this become very, very important for us? Because as Louis says, that the first step is to be able to really, really feel all of those emotions fully, whatever it is that may be coming up for each one of us. Some of those emotions may be very unsettling. So we tend to suppress them, we tend to deny them, we don't tend to really allow ourselves to feel them fully. Why is it important to feel those emotions? Because we know that at any point in time, if we are going to suppress them, they will find a pocket in our body and either stay in the form of some discomfort, some disease, some illness, lowering the immunity, or coming out in some other form of a pattern. Can't hear Sneha. So I think, Deval, once again, I'm going to ask you, are you able to hear me clearly? Okay, great. So Manisha, just check on your earphones on your system.
Shreya, can you hear us? Shreya, Prashant, can you guys hear us? Okay,
okay, wonderful.
Thank you. Manisha looks like yes, so I'm just going to write to her. Sorry,
yeah.
Sneha.
So I think Manisha is missing the audio. Shashank is doing a personal chat with her. Now, why is it that we need to feel those emotions fully? Because if we don't feel those emotions fully, we are actually missing out on very, very important information. Because as Louis says, emotions are nothing but it's a very significant guidance system, because every time it feels something, it points towards a certain kind of a thought, a certain belief, some kind of a life experience, some pattern that is actually embedded in the subconscious that is emerging for us. So emotions are actually beautiful because they are such an important guidance system. And if we don't hear them, if we don't acknowledge them, and if we don't feel them fully, we tend to miss this entire thing. And the last part is feeling intensely grateful for the insight that it is throwing up, and also releasing all kinds of resistance towards any of these emotions. Even as you sit here today, notice if you felt any resistance with emotions of other people in your family or people who've been around you. So if they have expressed some kind of emotions and it's made you uncomfortable, that is also very, very important information. What just happened? Why is that emotion making me uncomfortable? What is it bringing up? Either in the form of thought, in the form of feeling, in the form of past experience. What am I really resisting here? So just staying in this awareness becomes very, very important. Yeah? So all of this, because the minute we are able to have that insight into a core belief, into a thought, into a pattern, we are gently able to then transfer it, transform it into something which is affirmative, which is something which is life affirming. Because this entire experience will actually mean nothing if we are not able to get to what we need to release, what we need to let go. What is it that needs to be reset in this particular time? So we need to do it with a lot of love, lot of compassion, and a lot of gentleness on every moment to moment basis, every single day as we are flowing through this particular time. How do we do this? We want to do it live together with each other at this point in time. Yeah, so we are going to do it as a small little exercise, and eventually you're going to do this on your own continuously. Yeah, we'll tell you how to do that later. First, let's begin. So the beginning point is for each one of us in this room, in this window, in this gathering, to become completely and intensely aware of the kind of emotions that we have been going through. And these emotions can be of two types. One, which are enabling, which tend to create a lot of rush of possibility and positivity. So these emotions could be love, it could be a sense of hope, courage, belief, trust. All of these things are something which are enabling. These are life affirming emotions. And at the same time, we may experience another type of emotions which may actually be dissipating, or they might be disabling, or they might end up making us feel drained. Now, these emotions are actually the most important source of information for us. So, what we are going to do is we are going to begin with finding out what exactly have been the emotions that we've been experiencing in the past couple of weeks. What has been happening inside of me? Especially look at it intensely in the past couple of days. Kya ho raha hai? What's coming up? We are going to try and look at those emotions which are the draining ones, which are also the ones which are going to give us a lot of information. So I'm going to give you some emotions. We are going to put them up on the slide because we have realized that a lot of times we tend to confuse a feeling or an emotion with a thought. They are not the same. Thought is something that we are thinking. It's a mental chatter that is going on in our head. Whereas feeling is something that is in the body and it can be expressed in one single word. So there is no complex need of words. There is just one single word that captures the feeling completely. So we are going to put some of them out here on the slide. This is also meant to get you to start connected to those feelings. So let's have you put them up. All you need to do is just read them out. It's not a complete list. It's just an indicator. So as you read through the list, there are some which will really jump out to you as a feeling. Yeah, that can be a good beginning point. So write as many as the ones that you've been feeling. Any one of them. If none of them, you can even leave that. But these, we are going to look at the disabling ones because they are the source of information for us right now. Just let's take a couple of seconds. There's anything else you can even pick out which may not be a part of this list. Just allow yourself to go deep inside, really getting in touch with anything that your body may have been feeling. Some emotions more intensely than the other. It's beautiful if your body is feeling uncomfortable, if there is a headache coming up, if there is any kind of discomfort coming up, then that's also an indicator that there is some resistance. Tell yourself it is safe for me to discover my emotions. It is safe. I am safe. It can be as many. It doesn't need to be one. After you've got your list down, look at it and identify the possible three strongest ones that you have been feeling. The possible three strongest ones that you have been feeling. And once you have identified the strongest three, then I want you to pick the topmost. The one that seems to be constantly there at the back, emerging, putting its head out, and then going down, and then coming back again. So just notice what that would be. This is also a good time to reach out to the chat box and write that one emotion out. What is it that could be coming up for you? I'm going to switch this off slide and we are going to take a moment to check whether everyone, so we have overwhelmed, sad, vulnerable, sensitive, anxious, confused,
angry.
There is also anger, exhaustion, irritation. It's beautiful. So many emotions which are actually coming in. And if you're looking at the chat box, I also want you to visualize this is the kind of energy that's going around right now. Yeah, everybody is feeling emotions, and emotions is nothing but physical energy. And that is what's going around all the time right now. So we also want you to be present and mindful of what exactly is happening to your energy as well, as you're dealing with all the emotions that's happening in your inner and your outer circle. Remember, we are not judging any of it. We are just being grateful that we are aware of what's happening in the internal system. Yeah, so worried, edgy, concerned, all of these are
Exhausted,
emotions.
tired, sad, low, anxious.
So that's great. Now we are going to move to the second step, and this is actually going deeper. So the level that's most accessible is a quick understanding of what the emotion is. Now, what we want you to do is that for the topmost emotion that you have picked up, we want you to find out what is actually the thought that runs in your head when you're feeling this emotion. What's the mental chatter that's going on? I'm going to give you an example because one of the emotion that I experience is anxiety. So it's like a free floating anxiety, and the chatter that goes on in my head is, how long is this going to last? How is this going to affect work? We have made such a big investment this year. How is all of that going to get recovered? What is the future looking like? So there is this continuous mental chatter that happens when this emotion is active. So I want you to write down at least some thought patterns that run in your head when you're feeling this. So take a moment to write it down. Don't edit, just what's the chatter that runs in your head. Pick that up, it's beautiful. I'm going to repeat the question once again. What is the thought that's running in my head when I'm feeling this emotion? What is the mental chatter?
So if you look at Shobna, she shared on the chat that the mental chatter, the thought that's going on in her head is, when is this going to end?
Beautiful. And you don't have to write it in the chat box. If you feel like, you can. But we just want you to capture what is it that goes on in the head.
Mm.
Beautiful. Why are people not following the lockdown? And that makes me extremely angry. Am I enough? Am I doing enough? Am I being enough? And it's beautiful. Yeah, just notice what it is. Remember, as Louise says, that we are what we think. Our thoughts are constantly creating our reality. So at this moment, we are simply getting out and watching what's the kind of dialogue that goes on in the head. Also notice that when people around you are feeling emotions, it could also be your young child, it could be a spouse, it could be a parent, it could be anybody else. When they are expressing an emotion, there is also a chatter that's going on in their head as well. Yeah, so we want you to just say a thumbs up for everybody who's got at least one or two statements or chatters that you have got. Mm-hmm. Beautiful, because this is very, very important. Now, from emotion, we have moved to identifying what's the thought that's actually leading to this emotion. Beautiful. I want so many things. I want to reach out to so many people. I want to help so many people, but I'm so overwhelmed. And there is this constant chatter that's going on. Now that we have gotten in touch with the thought, remember, thoughts don't come from nowhere. In the same situation, each one of us is thinking differently, and therefore we are feeling differently. Where are the thoughts coming from? and you already know the answer. I know you're put on mute, so you can't answer that. The thoughts are coming simply from our belief system. Yeah, beliefs are nothing but assumptions that we are holding as true. This is what we are choosing to believe. These are the life experiences which have got stored in our subconscious that are emerging. What's amazing is that when I sat and I did this exercise and I said, okay, there is this whole chatter that's going on in my head. How will it happen? What will happen? How long will this last? And when is this going to end? What is it going to mean for work? What is it going to mean for future? And when I went down to what is the belief that I'm actually looking at, it was so amazing because it got tears to my eyes. And this is something which I have felt. This is my inner child belief. And the belief that I hit upon again and again is, I am not safe. Yeah, that I am not safe. And another belief that came up for me is that I am not adequate. So there could be anything that might hit as a belief for each one of us. For Shashank, there was a lot of anger that he experienced. And
just a moment, I'm going to stop the screen share.
So Chandana, that's a screen share that's happened. So we are just going to stop that.
Okay, that's done, yeah.
So just if you can take a moment and look at these thoughts.
You were talking about my belief.
And go one step deeper and try and find out what is the belief. Shashank, for you, it was anger, right?
Yeah.
And what was the chatter?
So the anger was about certain people who are expressing emotions which I am not comfortable about. And it was about, the belief was, the belief was around, why are people not really doing things the way I want them to do? Will this ever change? That was the thought that was constantly going on in my head.
Yeah. And the belief is probably again somewhere that I am not safe. So
I will not be understood.
I will not be understood. Yeah, people are stupid. I love that. Yeah, so the fact that we need to be able to look, and it's so Achal to feel that people are stupid. Yeah, so I love him for it. And so honest there. And Shashank's triangle, yes, I know. So we need you to get in touch with that belief and just doing it with such gentle compassion and knowing where is it all coming from. What is getting activated for me right
unfair.
now?
Beautiful.
Yes, life is unfair. That's a strong one. Yeah. Or things are always out of control. Why are people so fearful is still a question. It's not a belief. So if people are fearful, what does it mean? Yeah, what does it mean? So go deeper to what it means for us.
There's not enough for everyone.
There is not enough for everyone. That's a very, very core belief. Yeah. And I feel helpless that I can't help. And if I can't help, what does it mean?
The belief could be, I always need to be available for people.
People won't accept me for who I am. Again, a very, very powerful one. I need to work more on myself means I am not good enough right now. Yeah, so we need to, if I don't earn, I won't survive. Yeah, so all of these are very, very important beliefs that we are working on.
My mom has gone through this and so will I.
Yeah. And it's wonderful. So what we are going to do now, because this is such important information, and this is how we need to process constantly the emotions that are coming up for each one of us. Remember, we are trying to hit to the core beliefs. These are nothing but the beliefs that are driving a lot of things that are happening for us right now. So we may have a dream of how we want to grow our work. We may have a dream of the way we want our relationships to be. We may have a dream of the way we want our life to be. And yet, these are the beliefs that are going to emerge time and again to just be able to create that sense of not enoughness. Yeah, where we are constantly out there. It comes in the way of creating the life that we want. We are going to create breakout rooms now, and you have an important job to do. And your job is that you're going to share with the group, of course, your name. What's the 3 emotions that you experienced and your dominant one? What's the thought, the chatter in your mind? And what's the belief that you have hit? And as a group, you're going to come up with one affirmation that truly feels good inside, that truly creates an energy shift, that when you close your eyes and when you say that affirmation, you know that it fills up your heart, it fills up your being and your system. And that's what we need to do together. Yeah.
You know, one of the things about affirmations, and we keep talking about this even in the workshop, is that the affirmations, we don't begin with affirmations. We always begin with feelings. We always begin with allowing ourselves to feel things. We then get to the thought, and then to the belief. And once we've hit the belief is only when we convert them into affirmations. So even when you get into the breakout room, don't begin with affirmations. Begin with sharing what you've written. Allow yourself to experience those emotions, reaching to the thought, reaching to the belief. And yes, Mubarak, it's absolutely okay to have a positive one. You don't have to have a negative feeling. It's absolutely fine.
And you can also talk about no, nothing, please don't create something negative if it's not there. Yeah. So all we need you to do is, what would you like to add to what you're feeling? Absolutely. Already? And are there any moments in the day where even for a second there is a shift in your energy, and what exactly happens at that time? So that's also wonderful to pick up.
So for me, just to quickly share, Mubarak, I have been feeling extremely grateful for the past couple of days. And I think I have never felt so grateful in my life ever. And I'm not, for people who know me, who've attended our workshops, I'm not those, those senti types, but I have been feeling extremely grateful.
He's got teary eyed. And I am like, are you all right? So it's really, he's really been feeling it at a very deep level.
So yeah. It's a very positive emotion. It's something which I have never hit before as deep as that. And yet there are moments in the day where I do feel anxious. There are moments when I wonder, what is it going to be if any one of us landed up in the hospital? What would it be for the family? What would it be for parents who are in the neighboring room? So there are moments there are moments where I feel tremendous amount of anxiety as well. So the fact is that while we are feeling the positive emotions, there could be moments where you have a negative emotion. Are you taking that time to acknowledge that as well? Or are you saying, no, it's not okay for me to feel that? So if that comes up for you, great. And if it doesn't, that's okay too.
And that could be a great belief. I need to be positive all the time. Yeah. That's exhausting. Yeah, that's hugely exhausting. Yeah, so what we are going to do is we are going to put you out into breakout rooms. You will see it on the screen. You need to just approve. What do they need to do? Say yes to the
say
breakout.
Yes, say approve, yeah. Something. Whatever comes up on your screen, just say yes to it. Yeah, just the way we say yes to life. You will have, we are going to have around 5 people in your breakout room. Just for people whose videos are not on, it's a great time to put on your video in the breakout room because it allows a better interaction.
Trust me, you are beautiful right now.
And for people, what was I saying?
I love Sayukta's heart. That's, yeah. It is so, she's so strategically placed herself. Right. And I am not missing that even for a minute. So it's really interesting.
So I'm going to put you guys into breakout rooms. How much time are we giving them?
We are going to give you about 5 to 6 minutes, and you will have a message that says you have 1 minute more. So 5 minutes in all.
Wow, it says we are going to be in 22 breakout rooms.
Yay, that's
beautiful.
Amazing.
Okay, guys, see you all after the time Sneha has given you guys. Okay, we've sent out a message. So request you guys to start accepting. This has, let me just check the last one. Make sure. Did you ask for help? It said that you guys are asking for help.
Okay, great.
Okay, we are
Yeah,
gonna do.
I can't hear any Shashank.
Yeah, so we need you to unmute Sadhna, Rekha, and Shobha. You need to unmute yourself.
Yeah. Okay.
Sadhna is unmuted.
Rekha, that's great. Shobha. Okay. Rekha, can you say something? Rekha.
Hi, hello.
Yes,
Okay, great.
awesome.
So you guys are
Yeah,
sorted. Just make sure you are
yeah.
able to chat with each
Thanks.
other. We are gonna leave
Yeah, yeah.
so that
Thank
you
you.
guys have time with
Yes.
each other.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Hello.
yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, are you guys looking for help? I thought you guys were looking for help.
Yeah, what is it you're supposed to do? Yeah.
I'm sorry, say that again, please.
What are we supposed to do now?
So we are going to be looking at sharing of whatever you guys have written. Uh,
Okay.
have you got a chance to pen down the thoughts as we were taking you through it?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're going to be sharing what's the emotion that's coming up, what's the thought which is leading to the emotion, what's the belief that's leading to the thought. And once you all have got a chance to share that, we are going to be moving to sharing an affirmation for the entire group. So that's the affirmation that you guys are going to be doing together for yourselves.
Okay. Thanks.
Sounds good?
Yes, yes. Thanks.
Okay. Anandi, nice to see you after a very long time.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, guys. See you. Bye. Is somebody here who's not been assigned to a group? Is somebody here who's not been assigned to a group? Vandana, Kalpana, Indu, do you guys need to be assigned to a group or are you fine? Okay, who's not assigned? Let's look at this. Nita Vyas. Come on, sign up. Okay, good to see you back. We've also closed the other rooms. So there's a very high possibility that in the next 30 seconds, you shall see everybody join in. Did you guys get a chance to discuss? Nidhi, just give me a thumbs up to say yes. Okay, great, thank you. I'm also going to move a little bit away so that my wife can join in.
Nidhi, are you the one who has been commenting and liking a lot of the stories?
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you. Thank you so
I'm
much.
following you. I'm following you on Facebook and Insta. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Even I've been following her,
Oh? Yes, I
but
know.
it's not
And it
on
has
social
paid you
media.
well.
Sorry?
Cash, it has paid you well. It has paid you well.
Oh, yes, totally.
Deval,
Deval, it's a very strategic investment, trust me.
The only difference is I've
Wait.
not been following her on social media. I've been following her in my
In life.
in life, yeah, personally.
Koi na
Yeah.
tu Madu ho. You're a Madu businessman.
Totally. Yeah.
Okay, I think
what-
we've gotten out of the
everybody.
breakout room.
And we are going to give just a couple of minutes for people, whoever would like, since we have almost 88 of you on the call today. We might not be able to hear from everyone, but when you have that compelling sense within you to want to say what your affirmation is, so let's have you quickly unmute and declare it. Because as you say it's going to create a connection with somebody else.
We already have Nidhi.
I trust the process of
I am-
life and all is well in my world.
I trust the
I
process.
love and accept everything as it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm loved
And
and
all is well
supported
in
for
my
who
life.
I am.
Oh my God, this
Life
is
is
like
an
affirmation bar.
adventure, and the universe is always on my side.
We can see it
It is
behind you
safe
as well.
to I am always connected to my loved
within.
one.
I trust the process of life.
I'm
I'm adequate and well taken care of. I'm enough.
My life is blossoming in total perfection. I'm
Oh.
dynamically self-expressive.
Nice.
Lovely.
I am adequate and abundantly provided with all that I need, and so is everyone on the planet.
Oh,
And so it is.
beautiful.
So it is.
All
More
that
than
I
enough.
know is revealed in the right time space sequence.
All
is
well. Life is an adventure. Absolutely.
I'm
The
addicted.
divine protects us,
Everyone on my side.
surrounds us
Yes.
at all times, and we're all safe.
Yes, Samvika, absolutely.
Absolutely. You know,
Welcome
let's
the
take a
newness
moment.
around me.
Life loves me.
And it does. Life loves you completely.
I am enough.
Yes,
I am.
I'm enough.
I am in it.
With
I
divine
want
on my
you to
side.
take a moment where we are going to mute.
Divine wisdom guides me at all times. Divine wisdom
It
guides
does.
me at
It
all
does.
times.
It does. Absolutely. Nidhi.
Yeah.
I
Once
welcome
again,
the new
just
change.
the universe has my back, and this is truly an affirmation bar. What we are going to do is, now that we have muted you, take a moment. If there are people around you and you don't want to do this out aloud, you can do it in your mind. But ideally, if there is nobody, or even if there are people and you're comfortable doing this, just open your arms out and say your affirmation out at least 3 times and notice what it feels like in the body. So do that right now and see what's the alignment like. Throw it out to the universe. And so it is. And notice what's the kind of alignment. Is it bringing your cells alive? Yeah, does it feel that this is it? Yeah, this is what I need to say yes to. This is what I'm ready to say yes to. This is what my reset button is all about. Yeah. And the minute you feel good, you know that this is in alignment. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Yeah, so this is what we need to be doing. Thank you for being so open. It sounds like good news for my entire being. And the minute it feels like that, that's it. Because every cell responds with a yes. Yeah, and that's when we know that this is what we are truly meant to believe. Yeah, see the shift now. take a moment to check in with your body. What's the emotion like at this moment? Yeah, what is it that you're feeling? What's come alive? Is it a sense of joy, and is it a sense of vibration, and it's a sense of vastness, and it's a sense of complete contentment? Yeah, what is the feeling? And when you have that shift in the feeling, you know that you are now aligned with your inner being. Yeah, and this is what it is all about.
I'm also going to take a moment and step in and say that even if there is a possibility that you might not have a positive feeling. Yeah, you might have a feeling which is not supportive, which could still be of anger, which could be of resentment, which could be of feeling uncomfortable. And it is absolutely okay to feel that feeling. Yeah, the only thing I'm going to ask you to do is, are you willing to stay with that feeling and allow yourself to feel it completely? Because unless I don't allow myself to feel that feeling, I'm not going to be able to move to anything else.
Yeah, now notice what's the kind of vibration that's happening on this window. And the minute there is a shift in the energy, what does it create? Because once again, every emotion is actually physical energy. And the minute there is a shift which is happening inside of you, you end up creating in the space around you and in the community. So just noticing what's the power of this shift on daily basis. So this is an exercise that is something that we need to be conscious of every single moment, every single day. We come to the next part, and this is something that we need you to do after the call is over. Yeah, one of the, Shashank, can we have this slide on? One of the things that you need to do now, and which is a part of this entire pause and this entire phase, I love to call it the reset button, is that you need to recreate a completely new and an extremely compelling vision of your life and your work. If you have sat down and created a vision in the beginning of the year, it does not matter, because this is the time when the universe is actually clearing a lot of things. It's creating completely new possibilities and completely new energy. And this is a time of creation, trust me. And this is the time when we need to sit down and create an absolutely compelling vision of what is it that my life and my work looks like. And when you're creating it, don't allow the external fears to limit your dream or your vision right now. That's extremely important. So you need to take some time out. Maybe don't make it later than tomorrow, because trust me, it goes on the back burner, where you need to sit down and really put down what that vision looks like for you, for your work, and for your life. Remember, we've put one word here, which is compelling, in bold. And the word compelling simply means that it actually energizes you and moves you to action. When you look at it, it feels in complete and total alignment with who you are as a person. Shashank and I had actually sat down, and we do this as a practice of creating a vision every year. And we did that in Jan. And we have actually sat down 2 days ago, and we have recreated a completely new vision, which is more bigger and more expansive in this current time than what we thought about in Jan. And we know that the universe is moving in that direction right now. Yeah, so one is to be able to create a new and a compelling vision. Now, what is it that we usually create a vision because we want to be able to manifest it? Manifest it in the form of work, in the form of life, in the form of relationships, prosperity, success, health, everything that we want to create in our life. And any form of manifestation, and this is what Louise always talks about, that manifestation is a beautiful rhythmic dance of intention and action. Yeah, anything devoid of the other. Simple action without intention is directionless action. Only intention without action is about really dreaming, but not really manifesting those dreams. But when both of these come together is when manifestation happens. So when you look at these two words, intention is nothing but actually the inner work. So when I look at intention, I need to check what is actually happening inside of me. What's the kind of inner work that I need to do in order to make this vision into reality? Are there some kind of fears? Are there some kind of doubts? Are there some kind of limitations? What is it that is coming up for me that can actually come in the way of manifesting this vision? Trust me, this is such an important exercise because this is the groundwork. So if I really need to clear up the intention completely, it's not only just having the vision, but I'm going to look at what could cut the wings to my vision. What is it that needs to happen? What's the wind that I need to create beneath my wings in order to make that vision come alive for myself? So this intention is entirely the inner work. What do I need to shift inside of me to manifest this into my reality? So this is the work that we need to do. Now let's look at the second word, which is action. So while intention is internal, action is external. So something that I need to give out in order to manifest this vision or this dream that I have created. So intention, inner work, action, outer work. And for this, I need you to ask yourself three very, very important questions. Yeah. So when I have the vision in my mind, I know that I am good at some things. So if the vision is around the kind of work, the purpose of my life and the work that I want to create, I know that I'm good at something. I, Sneha, know that I'm extremely good at passionately reaching out this work to people. I am good at the way I put it out. I'm good at the way I organize the content. I'm good at the way I'm able to put it down into pieces that it can reach out to people. I'm good at creative visualization of what I need to put out. So I'm very clear about what I'm good at. What are my unique skills and capabilities? So then I'm going to ask myself the question, what am I not good at yet? Where is the gap? Yeah, to manifest this kind of vision. Trust me, this is not a negative way of looking at it, but this is actually looking at an opportunity for growth. Yeah, what is it? Where is the gap? What do I need to build more of in order to be able to manifest this particular vision? And then I ask myself the question, how can I bridge the gap? Because remember, this time that you have right now is an opportunity for learning. It's an opportunity to get prepared for the launch that is waiting to happen the minute things start to settle. So this is nothing but preparing the soil. It's a preparation ground, which is internal as well as external. So remember, once again, intention plus action equals manifestation. Intention is your inner work. What do I need to shift internally to manifest and turn it into reality? And action is outer work, which are three important questions. Yeah, where is the gap? So if I were to answer this, I
answer the question in the chat box.
Question in the chat box, that can I give you an example? The gap that I experience in action is that I find myself not really knowing how can I make myself more visible. What's the kind of marketing that I could do? How do I make myself digitally savvy? What are the kind of different platforms that I could utilize? One important thing, how do I identify resources around me? You know, I tend to be a person who's not able to look at people and see the possibilities that they can bring, because everybody is a resource. So the ability to see the resources around me and be able to reach out to them.
So if I had to quickly give you my example, what am I good at? I'm good at working on business. I'm good at understanding aspects of marketing. I'm good at understanding technology. I'm good at understanding what's the business brain. how are things? I'm good at looking at the
Setting the vision
possibilities,
of
setting at the vision. All of that comes to me easily. Where is the gap? There are two gaps which I tend to experience. Number one, I tend to miss out on people outside of me. So a lot of times I will learn things myself. I will not reach out to people. So that's number one. And number two, Sneha and I both struggle with this. We struggle to create a network of people from whom we can connect and grow each other, help each other to be able to help business, especially. So we call ourselves people who are resource myopic. So even if there is a possibility, we don't look at it from people perspective.
Inner work, the intention, the work which is happening internally, I notice in a very big way the need to play small. Yeah, and the need to not go out there and talk about what I'm doing with a sense of belief and a sense of pride. And the belief is that if I say too much of what I'm doing, it's going to be vain. Yeah, it's actually, you know, being very vain. And the minute I hear that word, I hear my mother telling me that. Yeah, so it's a very, very deep belief of having to play small and not telling people what I'm doing, and my work will speak for itself, and I need to, you know, just allow that to happen. So a lot of inner work as well as external work. How do I bridge the gap? We can't tell you how much Shashank and we have been actually enjoying this time, because I have been taking so many courses. I've actually put myself out there to teach myself everything that I believe I need to know in order to be able to take this forward. We've been having Zoom calls, we've been reaching out to people who are experts in this area, because I know that I'm ready to put that vision now into action.
One of the things that we learned on one of the calls that we attended 2 days ago was that, just like Sneha said, this is the time when we have to create what we want to create.
Yeah.
Because when the world is ready to receive it, they are going to remember us. If we have it ready, we are ready to launch. So it's like, you know, when we have the rocket which launches, there is this fire which is burning out there. It keeps burning, keeps burning, keeps burning, because that's the fire which is getting the rocket to ready to launch.
Absolutely. Yeah, so we are going to go back to the window, and which is where I want to talk about, Babu and Deval, the fact that you have actually offered the manual reading. It is so priceless, because this is a movement towards action. Yeah, so this is the work that, so I read everything up, I feel more confident, my questions are answered, I create more preparedness externally. And then I also do the inner work. What could be stopping me? What are the fears coming up? What are the beliefs that are showing up for me to go out and do this work, whether it's one-on-one or whether it's in a group?
Louise always said one thing, and I see that in most of her videos. She keeps saying that when it's the lowest point in our lives, that's the time we stop doing this work. But actually, that's the time we need it the most. So technically speaking, the world, including all of us here, need it the most right now.
You know, when Rick and Patricia, they actually, Louise, there was a case, a suit which was filed against them by one of the participants who attended the teacher training. And Louise and Rick and Patricia described this as the darkest phase of their life, where a lot of things had gone wrong for them. And this phase lasted for quite some time. It lasted for about 3 years or more. And they remembered that this was the time when workshops were not happening. Everything that they were passionate about doing, that they knew how to do, had come to a standstill. And they were facing almost bankruptcy at that particular point in time. And that was the time when Patricia says, is when they sat down and created all their extra courses. They created so many new things that they wanted to bring out to the world. Rick and she started doing a lot of online one-on-one workshops. They started trying out
on-call
one-on-one workshops. They started doing small little work at home. And she says that those 3 or 4 years actually became the most productive years of our life, that prepared us for everything that was to come afterwards. Yeah, so we remember this completely of what they are talking about. Remember, again, intention and action both working together. Yeah. So once again, thank you to both of these. And
They
Deval
will
wants
sing.
to say something right now, so we unmute you. Yeah, Deval.
Thank you. Shash and Sneha, I cannot tell you how grateful I am for this session because we are so exhausted with the work and the whole overwhelm. But coming to the action point, I'll just stick to that. We've just been 2 classes, we've just had 2 sessions, and we have already our disclaimer in place. We already have visualized our workshop. We have already thought of the production. How are we going to book the rooms? What is the audience going to be like? Our disclaimers are written. We have written a prayer that we are going to say before every workshop that we are going to lead. So it's just so exciting that now we're just waiting. We're all bubbling full of energy that we're ready with everything. Now we just want to let the ball roll,
Yeah.
So thanks so much for a reminder.
This is so beautiful because it's no longer about the manual. It's actually the entire experience. And the minute it comes alive for me, it has already manifested. So it's out there and it's held now. So I think it's beautiful, Deval, for doing it in such an incredible way. So it's not just action anymore. It's a combination of both.
And I'm so inspired by Babu's group because I'm on that group also, and I am seeing pictures of inner child work and I'm seeing such amazing things happening, and I'm like, there's some exercises they're sharing and it's just so touching. It's just so beautiful. It's
and trust me, we know that because people have been writing to us that I've had intense inner child experience, so I can't come on the call today. So we know y'all are doing a great job. Yeah, so there are a lot of intense experiences which are going around right now. But remember, everything is available to you. All that you need to do is ask, and I'm telling you, it'll come. Yeah, so what is it that you need to do or need to know, learn in order to fly?
So there are also some things I want to quickly talk about, which have been offered across. So of course the teacher mentors are offering manual reading and a lot of things. So please connect with Deval and Babu if you are not being a part of it. It's a great time to go back to the revision of the manual, to go back to the revision of the work, so that when there is time, you are ready to start with it. Also, the Heal Your Life coaching team, the coaches who are the Heal Your Life coaches, they are offering free sessions. So I'm not sure if you're aware of that. We posted it on the WhatsApp group and the Telegram group. We would highly encourage you to forward it to your WhatsApp groups and other groups, because the whole idea was to support people who need it at this time. You can reach out to them. We've seen a couple of people sign up who've been Heal Your Life teachers. So you can reach out to them, or you can forward it to groups where you think this might be necessary. I want to take a moment to acknowledge all the Heal Your Life coaches, because you guys are really, really at it, making sure that you get on there, log on there, address all your coaches. So thank you for that.
And this is again the first in the world. So Turkey has followed it, being inspired by our coaches who are offering this. So that's amazing. And we've got the second mail where Ireland is also following it now. So they are saying, Yola, this is amazing. Your coaches are doing a great job. And now our coaches are also ready to give this out as free sessions to people. So I think cheers to all the coaches. And even before the person, absolutely. So even before we get a coachee, they've already got a coach. Yeah. So it's amazing that everybody is, so much abundance there.
So if you want to sign up for yourself or send it to people, feel free to do that. Sampurna has been posting messages that she's been having 2 calls a day for everybody, not especially Heal Your Life, but even her other groups. So please, if you would like to join that, that's available as well. Sneha has recorded 2 meditations, gratitude and immunity. So if you want to download that, if you've not done that, that's a good time as well to do it. A learning portal. Thanks, Deval, for reminding me about it. If you've not seen the learning portal yet, we highly encourage you to do that. It's a Heal Your Life online 5-week study course. The learning portal was designed by us almost a year and a half ago. It was launched last year. We now feel it was before its time, because this is the time when people truly are getting to do sessions online. So you actually can take a 5-week journey with the learning portal for yourself and for your participants as well.
All right. And one last thing, which is available to you as a resource. Just a couple of, when was it? 2 days ago, where we had Thursday, where Rick and Patricia had invited all the teachers across the world to come in on a call to do a check on what's happening with everyone. And we had everybody come in from different locations who came in for that call. It was amazing to see what's happening globally. And there are some really difficult times that people are experiencing everywhere. That call also led to the question that what is it that our participants, that Heal Your Life teachers worldwide need right now in order to be able to create the kind of action and the intention that is necessary for manifesting. Patricia and Shashank got on to a detailed discussion on what needs to be done. And one of the things that has emerged is building business digitally. And, really being able to focus on the digital component of how is it that we are going to be building business. Shashank and Patricia have been doing a lot of conversations which are around it. And she has been telling him that, I want to get on a call to be able to, just to be able to work a little more around this together. So what has finally been the...
So just to give you a background, Sneha and I really keep working on understanding digital media. It's a never-ending journey because what we learn today, a lot of times something new comes up 6 months down the line. But the fact of the matter is we can't be behind and we need to constantly keep moving forward in this journey.
And we know that there are some of you who are doing an extremely good job. The younger ones are extremely good at it. So that's quite wonderful. But this is also a time for us to really look at how we can build our business digitally and what is it that we need to have. Shashank, I have
okay, so there are a couple of questions here. So Sneha, do you want to get to the thing before I get to the questions?
Yes. Yeah, so I'm going to quickly get to what needs to happen. So along with Patricia, this is something that has been an offering now that's going to become available to you. It's going to come on SlideShare, which is about building business digitally. Now, this is going to be a it's going to be a 5-week marathon. It's not a journey. It's a marathon. Yeah. So what does it mean? Why is it a marathon? It's because it's going to be led by Shashank, and only those people are going to be a part of this group. We'll tell you about what it is, what do you need to do, or what are the things that you need to do in order to become a part of this. Only those people need to be a part of this who are willing to act on it, because it's going to be an action-oriented 5-week marathon. Yeah, so there is going to be no talking, there is no going to be imagining and saying, I will do it in the future. No, there is going to be work every week that has to be completed before you get on to the next call in the week. What is going to be covered very, very quickly? The first is going to be, it's getting covered with, so there is going to be,
so we are going to be understanding how do we define our ideal client. A lot of times marketing is done or digital is done without even defining who I'm really targeting. So we call it defining and understanding what our client is.
We have spoken to a lot of digital marketing consultants, and the only thing they've said is, don't try to be everything to everyone. Yeah, you need to know exactly what is it that you want to say and to whom.
So what are we going to be covering in this? Some of the people, Heal Your Life teachers, we've realized don't really accept online payments. So we are going to be understanding how can you accept online payments even if you don't have a website, so it's not just about learning, it's about actually creating your online payment link. Yeah, so we are going to be teaching you how to do that, and you are actually going to be doing that.
And with everything becoming digital, this has become a huge necessity where we accept payments online. So it includes creation of an online account. What is it that you need to do to accept payments? How do you check your sales figures? So on and so forth. So that all is a part of it. Then you're
emails.
Also going to be doing a whole lot of work around emails, because remember, building database is one of the most important essentials as you're building your business. So how is it that you're going to use different kinds of modalities like constant contact or MailChimp, where you're able to send out mass emails to people. One is, how do you design them in an attractive way? How do you create a pipeline? So how do you ensure that there are emails going every week, or they are going
So how
every
do you
15
create,
days?
absolutely, how do you create learning series? How do you create pipelines? How do you create tags, which we are of course going to get to eventually? How do you make sure your database is healthy? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not just about getting email addresses, but making sure they are engaged.
Then we are also going to be doing things like landing pages and lead magnets. Now, what is this all about? Let's say that you want to create
Which is, if you can see on the side, there is Neha's picture. That's actually a landing page and a lead magnet both.
So what is a lead magnet? Lead magnet is something that you offer free to potential people so that they give you their information. So what happens is that you very importantly get the names, numbers, as well as email addresses of potential people who might be interested. So you record a meditation, like I have done a meditation and I've done a free download for people for boosting immunity. Now, a lot of people, there have been over 500, 600 people who've downloaded this meditation. And every time they have to download, they have to give their information. Now, this is very important data for us. So how do you create this kind of landing page? And you don't need to have a website. So what's the kind of landing page? How do you create it? How do you plan your lead magnets? And how do you offer them for free? See how much technology language I'm seeing. See how much I'm doing now. Yeah. So tips to create Facebook ads. How do you use Canva to design those ads? How do you define your target? What's the kind of, probably how do you assess whether your ad is doing well or not?
So here we are not going to teach you how to use Facebook. Yeah, that's not what's covered. We are going to teach you how to design Facebook ads, which means that the basic assumption is that you already know how to use Facebook.
Yeah, so basic computer literacy is an assumption.
Yeah, so it's not technology class. It's not a class to teach you how to use computers. So you need to have basic computer literacy, and it is not okay to be on your cell phone. You need to have a computer or a laptop.
And if you're struggling with basic computer skills, catch somebody who can be
not me.
Who can be a good resource for you, whoever it may be, and get that person on the call with you. Yeah, so that this person is going to be with you on the journey till you learn.
So the assumption here is you know the basic things, yeah.
You can record your meditation in your local language as well.
But I can't teach them.
Yeah, but he can't teach you local language. Yeah, but
no, I can't teach them recording of meditation.
Yeah, he can't teach you recording of meditation. Yeah, so then creating a webinar, very important again when you want to build a database. Great topics, putting it out there, getting people to sign up. Again, wonderful. How do you design webinars? How do you promote them? How do you use it as a lead magnet to collect database? So these are your 5 weeks of really doing things together. So you have an idea that we share with you, and then you work on it for the next week and then come back the next time with information. Now, Patricia is going to be on this call. This is going to be only open for 12 participants now. Yeah, it's not going to be more than 12 participants. Sleeping participants are not welcome. So if you feel you're not ready for this, please don't sign up. Yeah, there will always be the right time at some later date.
We did not want to offer it for free. And there was we had a discussion, Sneha and I spoke at length about it. And we said we wanted to have an energy exchange here. And one of the reasons for the energy exchange was because we want to make sure that there is a commitment from your side. There are 2 things we are not okay with. We are not okay with sleeping partners, and we are not okay with people who are not wanting to create a database for themselves. So even if I don't get 12 people, even if I get 2 people, we are very happy with that, because the idea is to truly be with that group for the 5 weeks. We will be creating a WhatsApp group with those 12 people, and we will be working on that through the week for that 5 weeks.
But we won't have more than 12 people. Remember, you don't have to do this. If you have signed up for any other course, any other digital course, it doesn't matter. It's wonderful. You will be drawn to the exact right thing that you need right now. But we want to make sure that you have everything available to you so that you create your action. You're ready with your action, and you're also working with your
So
intention.
firstly, thank you for all your overwhelming response that's on the chat group. It's very, very reaffirming because Sneha and I truly believe that technology and marketing are two things which a lot of times hold people back. We continuously try to keep bridging the gap as much as we can. What I am not going to be recording the I'm not going to be seeing who's written there because we are going to be sending out an email and a WhatsApp tomorrow with the payment link. Like I said, the energy exchange is going to confirm the participation. Sanyukta, you have a question. Before I answer your question, I'm going to go. Sanyukta, can you write that down in the chat box? Is that possible? Yeah, so that'll be great because there are a couple of other questions which have been asked here. So Donnie, you've asked, can I repost the learning portal link? Yes, I will do that on the WhatsApp group and the Telegram group after I log off here. Amit, you have some good news to share. So we are going to hear that before we log off.
Shashank, Amit, Anubhuti creates e-learning content
that's
for
for us.
corporate.
For us. So Anubhuti, I would love you. I would love it if you can send us an email with this question. I would be very happy to talk a little bit at length with you on it. Abdu, can we conduct 10-week HYL workshops online? To answer your question, a lot of people have asked that. The answer is yes, you can conduct it online. We also recommend that you use the learning portal simply because it's about not reinventing the wheel. You have everything created there. So you don't have to keep reinventing the wheel, but yes, you can offer the 10-week study.
You can absolutely offer it online, no problem.
And given the world that we are living in, most of the things are going online. Feel free to do that.
Computer savvy mein TV રીતે તમે
Okay, I've just put somebody on mute. Sorry about that.
And Sayukta's question, let's look at this.
Are we looking at the 2-day HYL workshop being facilitated online? Sayukta, there was a discussion about this as well. So there are, of course, opposing views because we can't really have inner child, we can't have anger release, we can't have all of that happen. Can you, people have been offering Heal Your Life workshops online. We generally recommend that do not call it like the signature 2-day Heal Your Life workshop because it is not, right? You will not be able to do pillow beating. You will not be able to do inner child.
And Patricia has very strong views about the kind of energy that gets created in a group, in a physical space.
And we've seen that it can't be replaced.
But so again, even in the teacher's call, she said we can break it down into study groups, into the learning portal, into online workshops. And a wonderful time is usually 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
So anything more than that online doesn't really work very well.
So I can't imagine having a 2-day 10 to 6 in front of my computer because it can be physically exhausting and you can feel disconnected, but you can definitely have a couple of hours, 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours to be able to engage your audience.
And I think that's a lot of information. With that, we come to the end of the call. And we are going to have Amit close with the most beautiful news in the end. But before that, I'm going to say that thank you so much for being here today. We can't tell you what a precious blessing you are. And we hope that you have heard Rick and Patricia's video. You are exactly what the world needs right now. Consciously be connected with your emotions on daily basis. Be consciously connected to the emotions that people around you are going through. The pause button, the reset button, the clearing and the recreation is what we need to focus on. Continuously remember intention and action. Get ready for an absolutely beautiful and a magnificent time that's ready to unfold. So all we need to do is be ready. And we will close with Amit sharing something wonderful. So Amit, we have unmuted you. So let's hear you say.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for organizing this. So guys, I would not take much of your time. I would just wanted to share a great news. I worked with someone who was infected with coronavirus in US, in Los Angeles. And it was a 4 days work which I did with her, and she had very high fever. She is a asthma patient. She had a lot of coughing and everything, and the hospitals had actually rejected her because saying that we do not have the bed and spaces for her. So I started working with her. The initial emotions which she had were fears, frustration, and helplessness. So what I did was, like, I worked like, I'm a Reiki healer also. I sent her some Reiki healing. I did some energy clearing for her. And then I started working on affirmations for her. So every day, morning and evening, I used to send her all these affirmations. I'm loved. The universe supports me. You are loved. I literally, she had her husband besides her, but I was sending her, I love you, like every day I was sending her. And she started, and first initially she was resisting it, and then she started saying, I love you. It's like, she became open to receiving the love. And then I started, and then she got into, a breathing difficulty. She was in ER, and I told her, she's absolutely safe. She's absolutely safe. So one affirmation which we need to do all the time is basically, I asked her, she was going to the ER on a stretcher. I asked her, put your hand on your heart and just talk to the little girl inside you and tell her, I am safe. I am there for you. I love you. And she showed magical results. Her fever went down next day, and it has not come back again. Now I'm going to work with her on her asthma, digitally. So yes, affirmations absolutely work. We just need to work on our own inner childs and tell everyone around you are safe. Prevention is very, very important. Precaution is important. But just understand that when we are creating with this, affirmations is a very, very positive environment. So we guys are literally ambassadors out here for the Heal Your Life, for Lewis, and we're doing a wonderful job starting with ourselves.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much, guys, and God bless you. You're doing an amazing job, and you have nothing to fear. We have absolutely nothing to fear.
Thank you, Amit.
So beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. And with that, we are going to let you go. Please sleep in a lot of peace. Wake up with joy, with vibrancy, with a completely new day. Just knowing that you have a wonderful, loving community that's holding you at all times. And whatever you need, ask, and you will be provided for. Yeah, so take care. I'm not going to say stay safe, because you are safe. Yeah, and we love you so much. And Babu and Deval, thank you. Keep doing the good work, and we love you so much. Yeah, thank you, guys. Take care.
Let's make the world a more safer place and give out all the love so that everybody on the planet is safe.
I am seeing all your coaches giving out so much love to you on messages. Yeah, I'm very interested whether you're choosing all women or not.
I lost your voice, Sneha. I just lost. Could you come again, please?
She said she's wondering if you are choosing
video is freezing.
She said she's wondering if you are choosing all women.
Coaches.
Randomly.
Right.
That's a good thing about technology. If you're well versed with it, you're there. Just point and you're there.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Take care. Have a wonderful
Thank you so
time.
much. Thank you, guys. Bye. Bye.
Thank you very much. God bless you.